Look at my face. Does this look like a face that's about to have fun to you? No! We're not about to have fun here. We're about to do a lot of ranting. So, prepare yourself, because this has an 18 plus on it for a reason, because this is one of the worst pieces of absolute fucking flaming dumpster fire trash that I have ever watched in my life. And it is the biggest reason why I did not review these movies previously, because I knew if I did, I would have had to talk about this. But now, I have no fucking choice. I've already started it, and we're pretty much at the tail end of it, so... this is going to be a really rough review, so... Prepare yourself. It's intensely negative, pretty much nothing but negative, and it has an 18 plus on it for a reason. So, buckle the fuck up, because we're about to deal with some real rancid shit. A movie so bad, so atrocious, and so, I'd say even outright unwatchable, that it even rivals some of the worst of horror. It rivals Freddy's Dead. It rivals Texas Chainsaw Next Generation. It rivals fucking Halloween Resurrection. Yes, this movie sucks that fucking hard, and we're gonna fucking talk about why. So, welcome back to Animation Station. Welcome back to Final DestiMAYtion. I am a very annoyed, pissed off Jackson Small because I have to talk about the piece of absolute unwatchable fucking dog shit that is the Final Destination. Or Final Destination 4. What was intended to originally be the end of the entire series. Because you could clearly tell they didn't give a fuck anymore. Now, you know I said in the last review, when I ripped apart the third one, that it was baffling how bad it was considering it was made by the same people who made the first? Well, how pissed off do you think I am that this is a really terrible, awful movie that was made by the same people that made the second one? No, I am not kidding you. Same director, same screenwriter. And everything about it is a massive pile of fucking shit. Literally every single thing about it. There is pretty much no positives here. None. None whatsoever. Because it is one of those movies that just leaves you actively hating yourself while watching it. Look, some people enjoy terrible schlocky crap. I get that. I mean, I'm a Friday the 13th fan, for fuck's sake. I know that more than anyone. But you have to have a balance. Because if you want to make a so bad it's good movie, you have to make sure that the bad stuff that you're doing is at least fun to laugh at. Meanwhile, this fucking crap pile didn't even do that. Because it's not even funny to laugh at. It's just one of those movies that's just fucking miserable to sit through. And it was filmed in 3D. Because, you know, it worked so fucking well for Saw and Friday the 13th 3. I fucking hate 3D so much. I especially hate 3D in fucking horror films because most of the time it doesn't do shit. Most of the time it's just a shitty, crappy gimmick to try and get people's asses in the seats. So how do you think I feel? How do you think I feel about the fact that this is a movie that's being made in shitty 3D in the late 2000s? Because I thought this trend died in the 80s and 90s, but no, it apparently persisted into the 2000s, because this movie is made in 3D, and there are several fucking shots of it, including kills, mind you, that are in this egregious fucking 3D CGI bullshit. You think I have fun doing that? Because since it is in 3D, that means in order to actually have any kind of effect, you have to have 3D glasses on standby. And since it was the early 2000s, they only sold the really shitty, paper cardboard ones with the red and blue lenses. I can only imagine how much that pissed people off back when this first came out. And watching it now without 3D glasses, it just becomes annoying. If you want to film your movie in 3D, fine, but at least make it have some kind of a fucking purpose. If you use 3D just because it's 3D, then you are just making the movie have a bigger budget and making it harder to get that budget back because people will be cringing at what is in front of their fucking eyeballs. Common fucking sense. I thought we learned this lesson in the 80s and 90s, but apparently not, because in the 2000s, apparently it even plagued it then. But if only this movie's only problem was the shitty 3D. No, this movie's problem is its shitty everything else. Literally, its everything else is fucking shit. Okay, not everything else. It has one saving grace. It has one great kill, the pool kill, done to the worst character in the movie, so it's the most satisfactory. And it has Shinedown on the soundtrack. And Shinedown fucking kicks ass. But that's literally the only positives this movie has. Everything else sucks massive dick. Literally everything else sucks massive dick. Everything. So, I think I've done enough build-up, so let's just get straight into the written review now, shall we? That way we can all go back to pretending this piece of shit doesn't exist, just like with 3. Here we go. While some do enjoy it in a so bad it's good kind of way, most of us are pretty much in agreement that this is the worst movie in the franchise by a considerable margin. Literally everyone fucking hates this movie. I have not met a single person that actually likes it. Even in the Final Destination fanbase, most people rightfully call this out as a piece of shit. That's how bad it is. Myself included, because outside of the pool kill and having Shinedown on the soundtrack, I absolutely loathe this piece of shit. The Final Destination, stupid fucking title, is an unwatchable dumpster fire. Take all of those issues from the third movie, the awful characters, the atrocious acting, the terrible writing, the awful pacing, the runtime that feels longer than it actually is, etc., etc., etc. Make them all somehow 10 times worse. Splatter it with CGI so bad that even zero-budget bargain bin parody movies look better in comparison. Yes, I am not making any kind of joke or hyperbole. Parody movies look better than this shit. And, to put the final nail in the coffin, be sure to add in the kiss of death for any shitty horror movie. Film it in gratuitous and eye-gougingly ugly 3D. So the audience have to wear glasses while watching. It didn't work for Saw 3D, and it sure as hell doesn't work here either. In fact, I think both these came out the same year. Guess it was the year of really shitty 3D horror movies. Oh, and no Tony Todd at all. Just to make sure that the audience is thoroughly annoyed all the way through being stuck with these insufferably idiotic, cliche-filled, unlikable, stupid-ass meatbags. Every single character in this movie is slasher fodder. None of them are interesting, none of them are worth getting invested in, and more than often, you are going to just be hoping and praying that they all die as fast as fucking possible. That is not a good sign for your horror movie, if you can't already tell. And why is there no Tony Todd in this movie? At least in the fucking third one, he was there as a voice cameo. And a damn good voice cameo at that. Because Tony Todd kicks ass, may he rest in peace. But here, he's not in the movie at all. He's not a voice cameo, he's not Bloodworth, he's just completely absent. In one part, I'm grateful for that, because it means that his name didn't have to be sullied by this piece of shit. But Also, at the same time, I'm left baffled as to why, because he is the one recurring character out of this entire franchise that's actually worth giving a fuck about. Yet he's not in this movie at all. I guess it shows more than anything how rushed and half-assed this fucking movie is. And even most of the kills suck this time, because of both that hideous CGI blood and a severe lack of creativity. Yeah, you know, those trademark kills that make this franchise so iconic and beloved in the horror movie genre. Yeah, most of the worst ones are found in here. Because they were apparently shot, practically. But for whatever stupid fucking reason, they went back over it in CGI, so everything looks fake as fuck. Like, every single thing about this fucking thing looks fake. Every scene looks fake. Every death looks fake. There's not even a fucking chance at, or attempt at trying to make this look real. It has the same problem as the My Bloody Valentine remake. That being that, even though they did a great job with practical stuff, they still went over it again in CGI. What the fuck? Why? Just make it all CGI at that point, instead of wasting the money to have these practical effects that you're not gonna fucking use. So stupid. Just... ugh, screw all this crap. It is one of the worst horror movie sequels I've ever watched in my life, and I hope to never have to suffer through it ever again. After this review, I'm never watching this movie again. Even if there's a new Final Destination, I'm never watching this movie again. If we ever get a 7th movie. Because after this review, I feel pretty much content with leaving it at that. Not to mention, it'll just piss me off even more having to watch it again. Because this movie's so fucking bad that even that one kill does not make it worth it. The rest of it is a fucking shit show of massive proportions. And I'm only thankful that's not the last Final Destination, because this is as fucking terrible of a note as you can go out on. Like, this franchise started off so good with those first 2 movies. Sure, they weren't great, but they were good. They were watchable. They were at least fun. But 3 and 4 are fucking terrible. This one especially. Because it is clear that it was rushed out. There wasn't as much time and meticulous care put into these movies because it was rushed out to meet a deadline. Not giving a fuck about the fans, not giving a fuck about the overall quality. It only cared about the kills. Which, again, is where the wrong turn comparison comes from, because it's exactly like that. Literally exactly like that. At least in the Saw movies, even when they got bad, they still had some kind of interesting idea. This and Wrong Turn, after those first 2 movies, has fucking nothing. At least until Final Destination 5, which is way better, and I'm excited to talk about that one. So, what do you say we wrap this review up and put this fucking thing in the ground where it belongs? Final verdict for the Final Destination, the worst movie of this franchise, and one of the worst sequels I have ever watched in horror ever, is a 1 out of 10. And I kid you not, if it weren't for that fucking pool kill, this would have been a 0. That's literally the only thing it has, that one great pool kill. Everything else about it sucks massive fucking dick. Don't watch it. Don't force yourself to watch it. It's not worth it, and it barely has any impact on the actual franchise itself going forward afterwards, so you won't miss anything by skipping it. Save your brain cells, save your sanity, and stay far away from this piece of shit. And with that, I never have to talk about this movie again. Yay! Thank you guys so much for watching. I know I got insufferably angry in this review, but it's because this movie's so bad that I couldn't hold back. I didn't want to hold back. It was a Snow Shite and the Seven Controversies kind of scenario. But, thankfully, like I said, the next one is way better. Seriously, Final Destination 5 is actually really, really good, and I'm excited to talk about it. So, for the record, one last time, thanks for watching. Fuck this movie. See you next time for Final Destination 5.
Decided for what comes up ahead.